Hey there. Okay, this is Dr. Sean Reynolds, and I wanted to share some information with you. I've come past this information from another mentor of mine about dealing with emotions and things that are happening right now with the coronavirus and all the other local things here too that we're dealing with the quarantine and things like that. So first off, I want to give credit to Kirk Duncan. He is the one who gave the information or passed it along. I've learned a lot of techniques from him through the years. This one is actually really specific, and most of the information I'm going to share with you comes from a video he sent or webinar he did, which is still available to watch. It's a little bit longer, but it's in much better detail and much more. He's got some slides, and it helps to more visualize what's going on. But if you want that information, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to forward you the link to his webinar so you can get the information directly from him. But what I wanted to talk about is emotions and things that are happening now. I've been dealing with them myself, a lot of which I didn't even know I wasn't really paying attention, but being aware of what we need to do to help adapt ourselves in this situation and to be able to come out of the other end of this and be able to be adaptable and kind of improve ourselves with the new situations of life. So if you're finding yourself now dealing with emotions, I invite you to try this technique. First off, I'm going to explain what it is. So the idea that an emotion is a vibration of energy creating, and it actually has a space that it occupies. And when we have an emotion, it can kind of stack up inside us. And we feel that in our gut or our chest, in that area there, maybe even covering up our heart, but we're going to feel some heaviness. And over time, we're going to have these things build up, and they can be small, medium, large. I'm talking small. We can just visualize the size of a peanut. Most of the time, it's more like a piece of fruit, like an orange or a lemon, but they can even be larger, like a basketball. But we continue to add those, and our brain will stack them up. And what happens as we get these emotions stacking up is they can begin to cover our heart. And after a time, when we have that heart covered, we can't feel. And so we feel a little bit numb, which I can definitely understand and can empathize with right now. I deal a lot with that myself. But the next thing is, as they continue to go up, they'll actually begin to cover up our mouth. And when that happens, you're going to start to see either yourself or someone dealing with this, they start to talk less, kind of withdraw. They're not sharing their opinions or the feelings. And that's not a good thing either. And as you continue to stack up those emotions, they're going to be able to cover now your eyes, and you won't be able to see. May be able to say, I just can't see what I need to do. I can't see where I need to be. I can't see what needs to happen next for me to survive, improve, protect my family, whatever it is. And if we continue with those emotions over time, they'll begin to cover up our brain and prevent us from thinking. And then the last step would be to cover up where we receive information or revelation from above, inspiration, whatever you might want to call it. Probably inspiration is a better word than revelation, but that's something to think about if you feel like you're stuck. Now, normally when our brain is overwhelmed and it tries to process, the one thing we turn to is sleep. Our brain, our bodies, we want to sleep because that's how we process. But nowadays there's so many emotion things going on that we're not going to be able to process fully with just that natural inclination to rest or sleep. Our brain processes things even through dreams. We need to help our brain process this a little bit better and kind of get through these emotions. So this is a technique called write and burn, or that's probably the best way to describe it, is just journaling, but it's with a specific purpose. So what we want to do to be able to practice getting rid of these emotions, and again, the way you'll be able to tell how well they function and how they're doing is you're going to see those things change. Like first, as you get rid of some emotions, you'll be able to think more clearly. And then eventually you'll be able to see, and this eventually is over a couple days or so. And then again, be able to talk, and then hopefully be able to keep it where you can feel that your heart isn't covered up with emotion. So here's the process. Writing and burning is simply grabbing a piece of paper and a pen. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down your emotion. Now, the best way to do this, I've learned recently, is to take one emotion. Emotions you can choose from include scared, afraid, frustrated, sad, depressed, angry, numb, overwhelmed. Those are some good emotions to start with. And you start by just writing, I feel this way because I feel afraid, I feel scared because, and then you continue to write. Now, as you write, you're going to feel some things. Now, it's okay to feel those things. In fact, you're going to feel that emotion, that sensation, or that feeling a little more acutely, because as you're pulling it out of you, you're going to have more of an acute awareness of what that is. You're going to feel it more deeply and more intensely. It's not going to overwhelm you, we hope. That's not the goal, but the goal is to pull it out of you and put it down on that piece of paper, because once it's out of you, it's just information you're pulling out and you're putting it on paper. you can now destroy or remove or get rid of that piece of paper much easier than the emotion. So it's a way of putting it on paper, okay? So your goal is to write as long as you can. Let me phrase that. You're going to write down until you feel an increase in that emotion, and then it should start to dissipate. Once it starts decreasing in intensity, that is when you're going to know that emotion is now leaving or left you. So finish what you write there, and on average, you're going to see a half page to a full page, maybe a 3/4 page, somewhere in there. And just as a time reference, for me, it takes anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes to write out what I need to. And then once you have that piece of paper, you're going to destroy it. This is not something you want to keep. This is something you want to destroy. Tearing it up over the garbage can is great. I myself go to the grill, I have a can, I burn it, I light it on fire, and I drop it in the can, and I watch that burn. It's to get rid of that emotion, okay? So that is the goal. And now, the suggestion, I was told, is twice a day to do this. Pick an emotion that you're feeling in the moment and do that. Now, twice a day, you can take 5 to 10 minutes twice a day to help yourself. I started doing this yesterday. I've done it in the past, but this was more specifically with this protocol and this procedure, and I already begin to notice a difference in me, a little more calm, a little more peaceful thinking. So that's what I'd invite you to do right now. Today, start now, and share this with people you know. This is a very simple way. There are other ways of eliminating emotions, negative emotions, but this is the most simple, most universally accepted way to do so. That's my invitation to you, is to write and burn twice a day on an emotion. This should really help you out, and as we move forward, hopefully be able to keep you balanced and feeling more like yourself and be able to adapt and move forward in life. So please share this with anyone you know. Again, if you want to get in touch with me about the full webinar, I believe it's about 2 hours long. It's fantastic. If you have the time, please do that and get in touch with me, and I'll see you soon.